Welcome gamers to Blood Bowl, in particular Blood Bowl 3. And the reason for this video, it's Blood Bowl is a game that's always captured my imagination, has frustrated the hell out of me over the decades. I love it and hate it at the same time. But it's sort of one of the interesting things is that this week Slytherin has been announced as the new publisher of Blood Bowl, of the whole Blood Bowl series, and also all the future development going forward with Blood Bowl, which I think is very, very exciting news. Cyanide Studios will still be the actual developer working on the game. I welcome that as well. They've done a great job in the past with certain titles, not with Blood Bowl 3. Blood Bowl 3 is a bit of a disaster, but not a total disaster. It's sort of funny when you actually have a look at it. The good bits, the important bits are done very, very well. Everything else is absolute crap. It's terrible. And so just be aware of that. Like the user interface and user experience for everything surrounding the game is amongst the worst you'll ever see. In the game, it's really, really good. So when you're actually playing the game, it's very enjoyable, but everything else around it is just absolute, as I said before, absolute crap. It's terrible. So I'm really hopeful that they either somehow fix it for Blood Bowl 3 or the new version that they have actually had announced. I'll say had, not have. I know that they're still going to be working on it. I hope that they actually put that on ice, or actually not on ice, but I hope they just don't have the release dates mentioned about it, because it was mentioned that it was coming in the autumn of this year, which if you're in the Northern Hemisphere, I think that's already finished. Like they ended a couple of months ago or a month ago. So in that sense, or even just a few weeks ago. Anyway, they've missed that deadline. It doesn't matter. It's just don't tell anyone about that version. Just let them know that you're working on it and do it well, do it properly, and fix up all the mess that is the user experience and user interface that is Blood Bowl 3. As I say, there's some really good stuff in it and a whole lot of crap that goes in with it as well. So we're going to be having a deep dive into all of those problems and all the good bits as well. I will actually go through what Blood Bowl is, how you play it, how to learn it actually, because you're not going to learn it from Blood Bowl 3, I can tell you that. It's not going to introduce the rules to you in any meaningful way that I've seen anyway. But there are ways to learn the game. In fact, I'll just tell you right now, the best way to actually to reference the rules is to use an AI like ChatGPT or something like that, and just tell it to explain rules to you when things don't make any sort of sense, and it will do a much better job than trying to find whatever it is you need to find in this game. The game does not help you in trying to, if you're new to the game, in learning how to actually play it. Hopefully this video will go a little way to also just explaining a little bit how the game actually does work. So I'm thinking probably the second part of this video will be me playing a game, or at least part of a game, just so you get a feel for what to do and how to look at it. This is a game that the random number generator is going to play with you ahead, but that's just part of the game. So the RNG aspect of the game is just part of the game. All right, let's go and scroll our way through. So we've got, when you have a look at this one through here, you'll sort of see that Slytherin, Cyanide are the two working on it. Publisher is Slytherin now. Cyanide has always been working on Blood Bowl. Interesting backstory as to how Cyanide actually got involved in the Blood Bowl franchise. It's sort of, they actually had done something that was not Warhammer approved or Games Workshop approved, but they did such a good job of it that Games Workshop said, hey, scrap what you've done and come and do this. That's my understanding of how they got started in Blood Bowl. That was a long time ago. All right, mixed results. They've got 47% positive reviews for the actual game and 52% in recent times. That means the game is absolute shit. Like, to be honest, when you have reviews that low, it's very, very difficult to save a game with reviews that low. It can be done, but I don't think Blood Bowl 3 is that game. So I'm hoping that if the devs are sort of trying to get a list together of what to address, that these sorts of comments and stuff from the community will actually help in the sense of what to focus on. And really, it's just making it so that you actually ease into it in a much more immersive way. Blood Bowl 2 did a good job of that. Blood Bowl 2 rates fairly highly in comparison to Blood Bowl 3. Yet when you play the actual game, Blood Bowl 3 is the better game. It's got better user interface around the actual game itself. it's just weird that they dropped the ball so badly on all the peripheral things and still did a good job of the core game. There may be people that disagree with that. Anyway, we'll just go back through. There's a few different DLC, and you'll sort of see there that you've got the different editions you can go and buy. By all accounts, when I hover over these, the DLCs are negative, and not just slightly negative. These are very, very negatively received. You don't need them, so just ditch all forget all the DLC. You don't need it. It's not going to make you a happier person. It's really terribly done. Again, I hope that they fix that sort of the way that they've done that. That was, I don't know what they were thinking with those DLCs. As we scroll down, you'll sort of see through here that there's the announcement that's just come out about Slytherin taking over, which is literally just a few days ago that actually announcement came out. It prompted me to actually open the game up and have a look at it again, and then also to actually make this video, because I've got a lot of faith in what Slytherin does. I think they're incredibly good publishers, and I think that Cyanide, in the past they've actually been able to do some really, really good work. So I'm hoping that that's going to ultimately end up in something that we end up with a good result. Now, what's actually working is they had this. This is the release that they actually have put out. So this was actually the Warhammer Blood Bowl, the game of fantasy football. So they've sort of gone back to getting rid of all the 1, 2s and 3s, etc. So Warhammer Blood Bowl arrives in spring of 2026. Forget that. That's actually not no longer on the cards, because everything has now changed. But I hope they don't rush it. I hope that Slytherin makes them sit back and really, really look hard at all the crap around, that they've put in from from Blood Bowl 3, and make it so it works. We might have a look at this trailer as well in just a minute. So based on the latest official rules, which is good, this new version builds on the foundations of Blood Bowl 3. That's not good. Expanding the experience with updated rosters. That just means more different types of units. New competitions. That could be good. New tutorials. That's very good. And because there's very limited tutorial content in the game, and an evolving competitive ecosystem culminating each year in a world championship. The game unfortunately, and I say unfortunately because I don't play many multiplayer games. This game is highly focused on multiplayer, and the Blood Bowl 2 did a good job of splitting it off so that you can actually play single player happily within the arrangement, within what you're doing. Blood Bowl 3 doesn't do that, and you'll see that when we get into it. It's shockingly bad the way that they actually handle the multiplayer / single player. Both are handled terribly, in my opinion. Anyway, players who already own Blood Bowl 3 rules. Sorry, I missed a bit there. At launch, the game will feature 26 factions, including the arrival of the Tomb Kings and Bretonnians. Players who already own Blood Bowl 3 will receive Warhammer Blood Bowl for free, keeping their accounts and all unlocked or purchased content. You can try the Rumble demo from March 18 to March 25. I don't even know if they actually released it at that stage. Anyway, it's sort of, that was what was there. Smallest pitch for intense gameplay. Now, they've got a variant here, which is actually really interesting. 7-player teams. This is actually, instead of the 11-player teams. This will mean very dynamic, not say combat, but essentially matches. So anyway, that's what the demo has. If you have a look at the the Steam demo, actually, do we play this one? Yeah, why not? Sorry, I'll just get the so you can hear it. So there's the human faction. It's the orcs by the looks. Yeah, seven-man side. This is interesting. Now, it is based on a board game, and as I said before, the in-game material that we're seeing through here is extremely well done. Like, the user interface and user experience in this instance is very, very nice. So they hardly have to do anything in the actual game part of it. It's the peripheral stuff that is just absolutely terrible. There we go. It's just showing the 7-a-side, which is exciting, actually. That's actually very, very exciting. So that's sort of what's coming. Now, they have seasonal faction releases back and through here. I'll just read through these. So they do release different factions at different times. So these were, I don't know when they were supposed to have come. Season 1, renowned for the Season 2. Not sure when these all came out. They're not in my version, which I don't know why that's the case. So they do actually have like a lot of them that it did actually come through. Blood Bowl 3. Yeah, this is actually just going through the different editions as to what they end up with. Yeah, no, there's nothing there that we need to worry about. Blood Bowl 3 Brutal Edition includes, all that stuff. Yeah, so I think I've got the Brutal Edition. Strap on your boots, be merciless, blah, blah, blah. I'll just read a bit more in through here. Based on the official rules. They do a good job of this. They really do adhere to the rules. 12 factions to choose from, including, blah, blah, blah. And I'm not sure how we get those other ones. Factions available at launch. So we end up with 12 factions at the start. You don't really need more than that, to be honest. It's sort of nice that they do introduce other ones. I'm not sure how you get access to these other factions. You can certainly play against them, but I don't know how you actually get to play as them. I'm sure they must be there, but anyway, that's something that I haven't actually really sort of seen. I'm not sure how they come in, to be honest. Anyway, I've hardly played the game since it came out, just because it was so poorly received. And I really loved Blood Bowl, and I just didn't want it to wreck my Blood Bowl experience. So I have come into it now with fresh eyes to sort of see for myself why it's so negative with what's going on through here. Anyway, let's delve straight into it. All right, in we go. Any key. I'll play this out so you can sort of see, I guess, the visuals of it. To be honest, it's impressive for a board game sort of introduction, but it's not impressive when you compare it to Blood Bowl 2. There's not really any big, it doesn't look any more. Doesn't look any more realistic. For example, they still look like plasticine models. It's functional. It's just, and this is probably the best part of the stuff out, other than the actual real game itself, the actual game. Just going through all this stuff. I mean, maybe we'll skip past all this. Should be able to just hold and skip. There we are. Now we start with the UX problems. The introduction to the game, guys. Welcome to the introduction, which is a warning telling you that you've got 2 modes to play in. And by default, they've logged you into the online mode, which is for multiplayer only. So here we go. Warning, online and offline modes are 2 different things. Your progress teams you create, as well as unlock content, can only be used in the game mode. Now, I assume, I don't know, but I'm assuming that this wasn't here when you first started playing it, when it was first released, and people were complaining about it. And then they thought, oh, okay, we'll fix that by putting a warning in. Again, they're just everything. You can just tell that things have been just shoved in and patched in, and this is the start of the absolute crap that we sort of see with the game itself. So it's telling me that if I want to play single player, I can't be playing here. Now it doesn't say, it says online and offline. It doesn't say single player and multiplayer, which I think would be better descriptions for what it actually is. I'm just going to go and click on OK. So I am in. We are entering online mode, in which all game modes require network communication and internet usage, because we're playing multiplayer across the internet. I'll just go and have a bit of a look at this one. So if I go and play, it's complex, because the way that we need to go and do it, it's sort of, this is actually advertising, or telling you it's information. So it's sort of like the news of what's going on. It's not, even though it's a banner there, it's not helpful. It's not actually something that you need to know. Back up the top through here. If I'm trying to actually get to navigate around the place, I have to go down to this escape menu and then bring up the things to go offline. That's the only place I can go offline. If I go offline, I can't go back online without actually logging right out and coming back in. Again, why? I don't know. We're just going to resume this. We have notifications in through here, and there's no pending notifications. That'll be for actual games. Like if we're playing an online game, then that's sort of maybe something that would happen there, I would guess. Don't know what that is. No idea. When clicking on that little thing down the bottom there. So you've got different modes. You've got Open the Ladder, where you can actually see how people around the world are performing and what they're doing. And you've got the Arena in through here as well. So you can actually sort of go in and I think just have like a practice run. We go and click on it. Welcome to the Arena. So craft a custom team according to the rules and get to the pitch. Try to win up to 7 matches, but beware. So this is actually where you can register a team, but I'm not sure who you're playing against. So anyway, there's different rules in through there. Again, these are this is where the game again fails quite badly. This, as in this particular game, it tells you the complex rules. It doesn't tell you how to play Blood Bowl. Like, it doesn't actually introduce you to you play Blood Bowl by these rules. You're better off downloading a book, or I think I said it before, just using one of the AI bots to tell you what the rules are as you play. Like, it's probably the best way to actually figure out why certain things happen and other things don't. So this is an overview. We can go and register a team. If I go and register a team, if I go into create a new team, we only have the same 12 as single player. That's okay. I'll just go back. I won't do it here because I don't want to be playing multiplayer. When we go to play, we have different things, for example, like the official competitions. We've got competitions back and through here as well, where we can go and create a competition. We've got the Eternal League. Actually, this looks like it's single player as well. This looks like it is actually partially single player. So why do they split it up? This is crazy. The Eternal League, or maybe it's not. Maybe this is actually, I don't know if this is multiplayer or not. I don't want to risk it. I don't want to start a multiplayer game. There is a tutorial there. Yeah, maybe this is still the single player, but from an online perspective. These look like single player things. Friendly match is, again, play hot seat, play against the AI, or play online. I don't know why the graphics are different to everything else on this particular screen. So that actually does allow you to play against people, play against the AI, or play against somebody, at your house in hot seat, which again, I like the idea of that. It's just hard to find everything. So this is the Outsiders tutorial. I'll just open it up. And this one may help with getting certain things done, or at least trying to learn. It's probably a good starting place, but again, why is it hidden? It's because most influential brands of the old world decide to host an extraordinary tournament, the clash of sponsors. So this is these are the announcers. I'll just skip past all this.
Hey there, loser. You really thought that Blood Bowl was just about spilling blood and wrenching balls?
I'll just skip all this as well. Match 1. Yeah, so these are the different matches that we actually have that we then got to do. Complete the series of 3 introduction matches to unlock access to campaign competitions for your own teams. All right, so it is just it's going to step us through, and it may give us information. I don't know, but anyway, I won't bother with that one. I'll just go back out. My sponsors. What's that one? These are different sponsors we can then go and sort of have to help with with everything in through here with different inducements. So we can actually, sponsors are important in the game. Again, it doesn't do a good job of explaining any of this stuff. It's so clunky, this aspect of it. I'm going to go back out. Actually, maybe I can do this one. If I create a competition here, I could probably still play the single player. So select the league of the competition. So we'll just go into, in fact, what have I got there? I've got a DAS Tactics League. I wonder when I did that. Who knows? Who knows? Active competition. I'll just go next. See what it does. Competition. Oh, hang on. That's different again. Select the league of the. Well, that. If I go and double click it, no. Next. It still wants me to go and build a new competition. Let's create a league. Oh, hang on. This is just what it wants to do. So it's actually not been set up at all. So if I just go back in, I can use that. If I go create a league, yeah, it's going to still be just coming through with this on through here. So test a league, and so this is actually like the competition. And so again, it's clunky the way it works with everything. So the logos, you sort of then end up just sort of getting, there's a whole lot of different things you can sort of just go and grab. It's slow actually. It must be because of the online. I think I'm going to cancel this. I'm just going to go to offline. I'm just going to go back and escape. So we'll do the rest of this stuff offline, which will be a little bit faster. Again, that's not good, is it? So now we have the same warning again. We just go back into play. And so we've got the same sort of things in through here, home, where we've got like different things. I'm in the middle of a competition, which I might sort of show that one. If I go into play, I then got the various competitions that I'm actually created myself. The Eternal League, which I can then sort of go back through to start to sort of then progress through a system with this, where if I go and click on it, there's the Rookie Conference, which is sort of like for low-level teams, the Pro, and then the Elite Conference. So these are essentially like a conference. If if you know rugby at all, it's going to be like a conference. I don't know if other sports do it as well, but it's like the grouping of the competition. So we've got the Winter Cup, no turnover arena, the agility championships. These look like they actually changed, because when I did this one a while back, it was the autumn conference, so it must have just come back through. So we can actually sort of go through these and just go the rookie winter cup, and so you've got to then progress your way through this with a team of your choosing, essentially, to go and play these. If we go and have a bit of a look at it, for example. We need to register a team to start with. I'll just show you the format with this one. This one here, maybe I'll go and show you how things do work out. There's different, this again, the actual final bits that it does is done very, very well. It's just how you get there is extremely clunky. So if we just go back out, we go back into, just go back again to our own competitions. If we go to create a competition, this is sort of how these things work. We're playing in the Anonymous League, which is sort of like low-level groups in through here. So if I just go back in and just go and click on Next, I've got to put a name in. I've got to add a logo in from the logos that are here sort of generated. So we just need to go and throw one of those in. I'll just go and confirm. The format is the interesting thing. So you've actually got it like a knockout format, a round robin format, or a Wizard format. Now, I'm not sure what the Wizard format is. I've now read about it once before, but I can't remember how that one actually does work. Available slots, so you can actually then have up to heaps and heaps of players if you're wanting to. So if you just wanted to like have a really sort of short competition, you might sort of just put in say 4 as a knockout round. Round robin means you have to play everyone, and so if it goes to round robin and you have like four teams, you'll have to play a bit like the World Cup. That's currently like the Soccer World Cup, which is currently on, where you actually have your everyone plays everyone else and sort of does the knockouts that way. That's sort of how the round robin system works. So everyone keeps on playing. Anyway, clock rules. In this case, I would strongly suggest you turn these off just for unlimited time for yourself. It's a pain in the ass when the clock runs down and you can't keep up with what's going on. Admission mode free, that's fine. So just go free in through there. So anyone can sort of join this particular one in terms of the other teams. Not that it's not multiplayer, it's just single player. Mandatory password, not that you need it when you're just playing single player. So that is the mode of creating these competitions. I've already created one called Bazaar back in through there. So the Eternal League is like a long progression through the game. So you can sort of play this one. In Blood Bowl 2, it actually had a map where you'd move around on the map, from what I can remember of it, which was pretty cool. Actually, this is nowhere near as good as that. It's sort of gone backwards. There's rules. Seasons. Each time you complete a competition, time advances by 1 season. At the end of the 4th season, a new year begins. Conferences. There we go. It's not the rules of Blood Bowl. It's just the rules of this. That's all it is. Campaign, again, we'll go through the tutorial, which probably is a good way to do it. So you may have to unlock that before you can then go to here. And then you just got the friendly match here again as well. In this case, you no longer have against the computer opponents or online multiplayer. So you can just play a friendly match if you're wanting to. Anyway, competitions. Let's talk. So it's very clunky. Teams as well. I'll talk about teams. So to create a new team. So in here, when you click on this one, you have 12 different sorts of teams you can choose from. And they've all got, I'm sort of covering it a little bit, but you can see it's 3 stars. This is mastery required. So the Imperial Nobility is actually a bit more difficult to play than other things. Orcs will be just one star there. Black Orcs are 2 star, for example. Black Orcs are simple. There's only 3 characters you can actually have in that team, which I quite like. It's sort of it's a nice, easy one to get a handle on. Humans are a little bit more complex. So they've all got different skill sets, different sort of rules of how they then work. Some of these end up with heaps and heaps of different types of units. This is Chaos Renegades. We just go purely for Skaven, which are just the ratlings or the rats. So these are very much about sort of agility, whereas the Black Orcs are very much about strength. So these are not all that agile, but are very, very strong. And they've got different variances between what they actually end up doing. Let's go and create a Dwarven faction. So in through here, if I just go in and click on team name, so I'll just call it Daz's Dwarves. Just go next. And so what this then does, I can either go to manual and actually do them all manually and put, sort of go and assemble my own team, or I can go and just get the recommended list. So I can just go and start here with 2 runners. So I've got a few different variations that I can change with this one. If I just go into if we go to manual, manual just changes it completely. I'll just confirm the again, this is clunky. Another thing with this, when I confirm the creation, I can't change the name of these, and it just doesn't. I don't know why I can't. Like, it just doesn't make a lot of sense. I don't think I can. Temporary retirement, no. It's this is one of the runners. Like, it's just for me playing. There's nothing I can do about that. Daz's Dwarves in here again. It's just a really. It's just not user friendly, the way that the game sort of does work with all this stuff. The team doesn't just consist of a team. It consists of a whole lot of other things as well. So if we go into manage the team, so we can fire players, replace players. So it does have a management aspect about it as well. It's fairly sort of simple. We've still got 10,000 left in treasury in this instance. I can manage staff in through here. I can actually go and get an apothecary, and so this one actually allows us to save our team members who get badly injured. So it's worth saving up for one of these, 50,000 in this case, to get one of these. We only got 5,000, so we can't afford it. Cheerleaders. So each year, it says down the bottom there, each cheerleader will bring a bonus to a certain kickoff events. So that can be helpful. Assistant coaches brings a bonus to certain kickoff events as well. Dedicated fans give you more money. We can't actually affect these, and we can't affect the re-rolls. We can. They cost 50,000. So some of these we can spend. Actually, it says we can do dedicated fans there as well. I mean, I can't afford it just yet. But this is usually you can't do that. It just comes through. But this is actually how much money you start to earn from these. So these are important. These sort of getting these staff to sort of do everything. We've got replacement players, so we can go into here as well and bring in replacements. Sometimes there'll be like star players that we can actually sort of make use of as well. So these are sort of now all set up and ready to go, ready to be played on something. I wish I could rename them. It's these sorts of aspects about it. Like when I go and click on it, there's just nothing in here. One thing I will explain in here, and again, this is where portions of the user interface are really, really quite nice. Like in fact, what they've done here is when you understand what all this means, it will actually then start to make sense. It doesn't, because there's no tooltips to sort of tell you what's an SPP. This is it's some sort of points, like superior player points or something like that. I don't know what it's there for, but that's what everything all the little upgrades cost things. So in this case, Yuki Carnage. In fact, what I might do is I might skip this one. I'll go back to I've got Grom's gang in through here. So this is actually the one I'm playing with at the moment. The reason I like to show this one is because it's just so simple. These are Black Orcs. There's only 3 different types. There's a trained troll, there's the Black Orcs themselves, and then there's the linesmen down through this other side. So let's actually now have a bit of a look and see how these actually do work. And you see I've actually bought myself a cheerleader. I've got some dedicated fans who've come in as well. If I go into manage the team in through this other side and manage staff, I do have 90,000, but I can't actually go and buy fans as such. Actually, I think it must be the capacity for them. Now I can actually get myself an apothecary if I wanted to get one, and it's always a good idea to get one of them as soon as you can. So I think I'll throw. Actually, I can't do it. Why can't I do it? Won't let me do it. Not sure why. Again, doesn't tell me why. I just can't do it. I've got the money. I've got everything I need. It's down the bottom there. It's telling me what's going on. So, but it's not telling me why I can't click it. I can reduce the cheerleaders and the dedicated fans. I'm not sure. I'm not sure why I can't pick that one up. And again, if I wanted to find that out, why can't I get the apothecary when I have the money? AI or ChatGPT is going to be your best friend in that sort of sense. It'll just tell you what little nuance of the rules means that you can't do it. Here we are. Here's a case in point. I have 90,000 and want to buy an apothecary for my black orcs, which costs 50,000, but the plus button is greyed out. All right, the plus button is greyed out because you're likely trying to buy it from the managed staff screen, which is what we're doing. Blood Bowl 3 has a known interface quirk. So I wouldn't call it a quirk, where the managed staff page displays your current assets but locks the buttons, preventing you from actually buying anything. To successfully buy your apothecary, use this quick navigation fix. Exit the Manage Staff button, go to the Recruitment or Hire New Player tab instead, scroll past the regular players to find the Staff Inducement section at the bottom. The plus button should now be active. Isn't this wonderful? What a wonderful user interface that has got this quirk for us to experience and have fun with. This is why this game has such poor reviews. It's this sort of stuff. So what do I need to do? It was go back. It was... not managed team. What was it? Yeah, I've forgotten again. Or was it in here? Place players, was it? No, that's not it. Is it there? No, that's not it either. Hang on, I'll have to read it again. Right, we go back in. It was to hire a new player. Then you can do it. That's how you do it, guys. Not the intuitive way, but the unintuitive way. So we're going to grab that, and we're just going to purchase that particular one. So why it's like that, who knows? So we'll get the apothecary. That takes our money back down to 40,000, and our team value then goes up a little bit. See, some things have got like tool tips down the bottom corner as to what's going on, which is good to sort of see these sorts of things. So that's just that's now sort of getting all the different bits and pieces. With the these are the only 3 different types we can get, and you can see through here we've already got 6 black orcs in our team. We've got 1 trained troll out of 1, so 6 out of 6, 1 out of 1. So we can only really put in the goblins if we wanted to get extra goblins for 45,000 each. So already my better units are already full. So let's just go back out and go back into here again. Actually, why are we in here? I wanted to sort of show other things. A few things, I've been playing this a little bit. I've played a couple of games with this one, and I've already got the SPP factor. And again, I don't know what that stands for, but I've got 6 there and there, which means I can start to spend this. So I've got one of the goblins has come back through, and you can see they've got little up arrows, meaning that they've actually got points you can spend with them. It's funny because I can't spend anything with this one. 4 is not enough, but it still says that it's ready to go up a level. I might just show this one. It's just sort of show how this one does work. And again, now I don't have the tooltips down the bottom here, which is a shame because it does there with these things, but not with the others. And so the troll has got like different skill sets. And I won't go through this in too much detail, but essentially what you've got is you've got the level. Now this is the level of the player, shows you the SSP experience he has gained, but also translated by his rank. So maximum rank is 7. I can't upgrade that. I need to start upgrading other things in through here. So he has like, this is the movement allowance of 4, represents the maximum allowance of squares this player can move when activated. This is the strength of the player, so 5 is used for block actions. Block is sort of like the tackling actions that you have against the opposition in both attack and defense. A high number is an advantage, so 5 is actually very, very good. This is the agility. So agility shows how talented the player is at picking up the ball or getting out of tackle situations. The agility characteristic is a number to be reached or beaten with a die 6 roll. It's got 5+, which is sort of interesting. And it's got here the passing ability. So this is represents the ability of the player to pass the ball. This is a number to be reached or beaten with a die 6 roll when attempting to pass. Numerous modifiers can be applied to this test. And then we also then have the armor value, and this is actually what when you get knocked over. In fact, I'll just read it out. It says armor value represents the resistance to injury of the player. The higher the number, the greater the resistance. So when you get knocked over, you have to then roll against your armor value, and so a high armor value like 10 is good. It means that it's going to be hard for him to be knocked out or badly injured. And a lot of our orcs are the same sort of way. They also then have like sustained casualties. If they end up with getting sort of like, if they end up being bashed up, then they can end up with with wounds essentially that can actually impact them moving forward. But these are their different skills. And so in this case, like always hungry, and you can see it's got a little down arrow. And again, this part of the user interface is exceptionally good. Like it's exceptionally good, this bit of it. So always hungry. During an attempt to throw a teammate on a die 6 roll of 1, the throw teammate fails and the player tries to eat his teammate. So he can throw goblins around. This one's a loner. So if this player wants to use a team reroll, roll a die 6. If the result is equal to or greater than the figure between the brackets, this player plays normally. On any other result, the first result is kept. Yeah, blah blah blah. So he's not great at doing rerolls. So these are our highest value player, but he's actually not, because there's a lot of things that can sort of go through in here. This is a positive one, Mighty Blow. When an opponent is knocked down following a block by this player, you can change the armor value or injury test by the amount between the brackets, which is 1. This modifier can be applied after the test. This skill is not usable with stab or chainsaw, but this one allows, so different factions have got stabbing and chainsaws and stuff as well. So in this case, the Mighty Blow is sort of going to kick in and actually make it so that we do more damage when we knock someone down. Projectile Vomit, so replaces block, targets an adjacent standing player and rolls a die 6. 1, the player is covered with his own vomit. 2, the target is covered. In all cases, make an armor value test without modifier on the victim. If successful, the target is prone and undergoes the injury test. Usable once only per turn. Incompatible with frenzy and multiple blocks. So anyway, that's sort of something where he can do that one. He's really stupid. This is a negative. So when this player is activated, roll a die 6, 1 to 3. The turn of this player ends and he loses his tackle zone. If this player was attempting an action usable once per turn, it is consumed. 4+, just play normally. So a lot of the time, he's going to, when you try to use him, he's not great at being relied on. So quite often, you need to get those rolls out of the way just to see whether he's going to do what you need him to do or not. Regeneration. So on a casualty roll of die 6, 1 to 3, the casualty is applied. 4+, the casualty is cancelled and the player is replaced in the reserve box. This trait may be used if the player is prone, stunned, or has lost their tackle zone. So he's got his own regeneration, and throw a teammate. He can throw. So if this player has a strength of 5 or more, which he does have, he's got strength 5, he can attempt to throw a teammate action on a teammate with the right stuff trait. So the other teammates will actually have the right stuff as one of their traits. Now what we have is we've got different, this is the overview back and through here of everything. If we go into the general slot, in through here we can actually start to spend SPP on other things to sort of make them so that they're, so this is like for general type stuff. This is expensive. Strength is mainly what he's about. So if we go back into strength and through here, you can see there that he's already got Mighty Blow. He already comes with that one. But he's got a heap of other ones that he can eventually get as well. So you can level them up over time. This is really cool when you actually are playing the game, to actually end up with a team that ends up being really, really strong in terms of the abilities that you end up giving them. So strength is the primary. Secondary is agility. Anything that's secondary will be 12 SPP. So agility is not something he can really go and do well. Passing is also not something he can go and do well. So this is actually, picking up the ball, throwing it off, doing stuff like that. You can get mutations as well. Not sure how you get those, to be honest. And you can spend 18 SPP to actually go and improve some of these basic skill stats in through here as well. So over time, they end up becoming more and more and more valuable just on the way that you then personalize it, which is really, really cool. This is where the base, the actual, Blood Bowl itself is a really good game. When you first start playing it, you're playing with very, very basic characters, but by the time you're a little way in, you're going to end up with some extremely useful people. And if they die, you're going to be very, very, very upset. Let's go to the next one. So this is a Black Orc. And so the Black Orc, if we just go to the overview and through here, these are brawlers, so on a block declaration, but still not a blitz. This player can re-roll both down result. So if this is to do with the dice, I'll talk about that when we get in there. And it can also grab. This player performs a block action. This skill prevents the use of sidestep. Moreover, if during a block but not a blitz, I'll talk about what that is when we get into the game, the target player is pushed back. Any square adjacent to the target can be chosen. A player with this skill cannot have frenzy. So there's different reasons you may or may not use these. These will come up in the game as you play them, and where you can make then the choice if that's sort of the way it works. And again, we've got like different aspects which can be unlocked for 6 SPP. Now this one has 6 SPP, so we might just go and spend that now actually. So we've got block in through there. This skill allows the player who possesses it to not be knocked down when a both down is chosen on a block action. We've got dauntless. When this player attempts a block or a blitz on a target whose ST is higher than his own. Now, strength is strength 4. This is actually not bad. It's sort of like, so I don't think we've got pretty high strength. Dirty player, fend, pushes this player, cannot follow up. No, that's okay. Kick the ball, don't need that one really. Pro, during this activation the player can re-roll the dice except for armor value, injury or casualty tests. Okay, so it allows me to do re-rolls if I'm not happy with the roll that we have. Yeah, I think it's only once per game. Shadowing, player can use a skill when an opponent leaves a square that he was marking. Strip ball, so when choosing push back on a block against the player carrying the ball, the ladder falls into the destiny. Actually, that's not bad. That's not bad, actually. We've got sure hands in through there as well. This player can re-roll to pick up test. Tackle prevents players in squares marked by this player from using the dodge skill. And wrestle, so this player uses a skill on both down results when he has the initiator or the target of a block action. Instead, the 2 players are placed prone without taking into account the other skills they may have, and no turnover is caused. There's a few there to choose from. All the secondary ones. We've got a couple of primaries. So we've got this one. We've got strength as well. We've got multiple block, stand firm, cannot be pushed back. Juggernaut. When this player performs a block during a blitz, he can choose to consider a both down result as a push back. Okay, that's interesting. Guard. During a block, this player offers offensive and defensive assist no matter how many players are marking him. That's a good one as well. Armbar. See, these are primary skill sets that he has. Break tackle. Mighty blow. You know, I like the idea of that. I think I'm just going to grab that one now. So we'll just go and confirm that. So that will be his new skill. So he's going to have another one where he tries to do damage. And doing damage with the orcs is a good strategy. All right, that's him done. We'll just go back to the others. Now he's actually, because we've now given him that level, he's now level 2 because we've spent some of the points. And we'll just go through until we find others. 2 SPP isn't enough. 5 SPP is not going to be enough as well. This is one of the goblins. So primary, you can see there, actually that's agility, requires 6. So 5 is not quite enough. Just need to give him, he needs to do more things. Here's another one with 6. And again, if we have a look at everything is, like general is secondary, strength is secondary, agility is the one thing that he does actually have. So we've got catch, we've got dodge, we've got defensive, diving catch, jump up. So this can try to sort of grab the ball, leap. Safe pair of hands. If this player is knocked down or becomes prone while carrying the ball, you may place the ladder in an unoccupied square. Sidestep. We've got sure feet, sprint, and sneaky git. Allows him to actually, is not sent off on a natural double during an armor value test when he commits a foul. So he can actually, you can stomp on players. That, again, would be good for damaging. Sprint, this player can attempt to rush 3 times instead of 2. Sure feet, once per team turn during his activation, this player can re-roll the die 6 during a rush. This is trying to sort of get forward a little bit. It's sort of funny, I thought there was a safe pair of hands should be the one. Becomes prone while carrying the ball. Yeah, catch. Diving catch. Defensive, yeah, no, none of these are, I thought there was another one just to help with grabbing the ball. These require a bit more. See, I thought there was more for grabbing the ball. That particular one. Yeah, I'm tempted to go sneaky git. I think I'll just do that one. So we'll do that one so we can sort of smash him a little bit. Just go confirm. And that's pretty much all of the SPP that I now have. So he's level 2 as well. That's pretty much it. We're back here again. So let's get into a game, and I can just sort of show you how that one starts at least. So we'll just go back out. So we've now prepped up our team ready to go, and we should see that the team value should now be, yes, just slightly over 1 million with what we actually have. Still got 2 with SPP that can be spent. These 2 here. So they technically can be sort of leveled up. So number 2 and number 10 are both level 2 guys, and so they've got little extra bits now that we can sort of see back in through here. Mighty Blow in through here, and Sneaky Git back in through this particular one over this other side. Actually, we have this one here, which is Mrs. Next Match. This is a Goblin Bruiser lineman. And so this one here, if we have a look at him, so this is Buzzdick, and have a look at his sustained casualties. So this is Mrs. Next Match. This player will not be available to play in the team's next game. Now, we don't have enough money to get anyone else, so he is unfortunately injured from the previous match. So he's out, and so we've got like a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I've got just enough to field the team. There we go, it's 12. And I don't have enough to buy another one. I should have maybe saved a little bit of the money to get another one. But anyway, we can't afford to lose any more players during this next one. So that includes one or more players that who may gain an advancement. Yeah, that's okay. So let's go in. So we've got, now the way it sort of works, we've got recruitment down through here again. If we can sort of get like a star player, they'll show up in here as well. Inducements. Here's the star players. These cost a lot though to bring these in, and these have got lots and lots of extra skills than what the other ones will actually have. 50,000 is not much actually for what we sort of need there. There's a few there actually which aren't too bad. That one there is 50,000 is not bad at all. Yeah, bomber. Interesting. You can sort of see down through here that some of these are like strength 7, for example. So there's some really interesting sort of star players. And there's the inducements as well, where we can sort of go and get other things as well. Just can't afford any of that just yet. And again, these things on their own are really, really nice, like with what they actually have. You know, like this is where we can, change our stadium, for example, change the pitch. We're only just using the human pitch in here, but eventually you can sort of unlock other things, I believe. So it's sort of, again, it's just clunky the way that they sort of work it, like the different balls you can then sort of go and access. Just using a simple ball at the moment, that's okay. It's just the visually the look of it. Again, we've just got the common dice set. So you're either just using 6-sided dice or you're using these sort of battle dice, where depending on what sort of skill set you have, you can then flip dice if you get a certain result on this particular dice. It's very, very well thought out. It's a heavy RNG, but it's about managing that RNG. All right, let's go back into play. That's the team area. We go to Bazaar, and we've got, this is like the playoff match. Now, the next really big problem with this game, and this is a massive, massive problem, is once you start a match, you can only lose it. If you want to get out of it, you've got to concede. You can't actually save the in-term game. And the reason for that is I've got no idea. It's just because it's a shit decision, and that's what they've got. So when I start this, I have to play this one through. Now, I don't think I'll play the whole lot out. I'll just play enough so I can explain the rules of the game in a sort of simple way. So we'll launch the match. We're going up against so our money is slightly above theirs now, our value. We can expect the opponent's team. So we're coming up against a couple of blitzers. These all have different sort of skill sets. It is worth having a look at what they do. You see, these are all humans, and so their strength is all 3, which is lower than ours. So we have more strength. Their agility is all reasonable as well. This is their passing abilities. So some of them have got sort of like higher passing, and the armor values, it's only the linesmen that actually have got 9+. Everyone else is 8+ in through there. So these are easy to sort of damage. The skill set that the the blitzers have is block. The skill allows the player who possesses it to not be knocked down when a both down is chosen on a block action. So we don't have that. And then it's got sidestep. If this player is pushed back, you, not the opposition manager, chooses an adjacent or unoccupied square as a destination. Usually, if you're doing the attacking, you will tell it where it can go. In this case, they get to choose where they go. So they've both got those, and they've got this one through here. The catcher can re-roll on catch tests. We have to be careful of these guys. These will run deep into our territory and try to receive the ball. So we've got the catcher has got the player can re-roll on all catch tests, and it's got nerves of steel, so it cancels the marking modifiers on a pass and attempt to catch the ball or interfere. So this will actually then sort of allow them to catch more easily with what they're doing. They're all level 1s all the way through. They've only got 11 players that they've got coming back in. So as we damage them, they're not going to be able to really bring them through, and we're going to have to go that way. We've got linemen all the way through, down through here. So they've all got a reasonable passing ability, except for the 2 blitzers. The blitzers will be there to do damage. So these will be sort of like your forwards if you're used to playing rugby or something. And so these are essentially going to be your backs and your wingers, etc. So that's what we're up against. The blitzers are worth a lot of money. The catchers are worth a lot of money. And then these are worth more than what our goblins are worth. But not a hell of a... Like, they're worth less than our orcs. These are all worth more than our orcs. So let's go in and go back and start the game.
Good evening to all you sports fans.
And the teams are on opposite sides of the pitch. Like we're looking down towards where our team actually is. It's a nice... Again, this is the bit that is actually quite well done. The actual, again, the characters and the animations are fairly clunky. They're still no better than Blood Bowl 2, which was many years ago. You can see there the animations and just the characters themselves are very plasticky looking. So they're not great, but it doesn't matter. It's a board game adaptation after all. So we're on the left, then on the right. There we go.
Good weather. Shame.
Oh, it's the Elven Union. Okay, it's not humans, it's elves. So they're going to be very, very agile. And this is going to be a problem. They're going to be hard to beat. I don't think we can beat them. But we'll see how we go. So we can actually buy other things if we wanted to, but I'm not going to worry about that. So we're just going to go ready. We toss the coin to see who gets to kick off, or who gets a choice of kick off. Okay, so they've now set up, so position your offensive players. So they're going to defend, which means that they want us to kick the ball off. So we have like a setup. You can actually have saved formations, which is again very, very cool. This is where the game actually starts to perform really, really well. So, and it's still some things are still a little bit difficult to actually grasp and understand, but you get used to it fairly quickly. Like down through here, what do we got? We've got, I'm going to have to block everything off. So I'm going to take this one up to here. Actually, just left click and then right, and then just click back into this other position. I might move them all up. They're going to be trying to dodge around us because they're elves. They'll be sort of trying to dodge past what we can do. If they get behind us, it's going to be a problem. One thing we can do here as well is, again, this is where the interface starts to work well for us in this instance. If I go back, and this is just going to go through what happens here with the combat log. I've got 3 different areas in through there. This is the match modifiers, show or hide the match modifiers window, which there's nothing much there, I don't think. Change made at pitch surface. Human pitch, see no effect there. That's okay, we can look at the different staff. So you can sort of see what's going on with everything back in that one. This one here is the tackle zones, which when I go and click on a unit, these are the tackle zones, how many players it's actually affecting, and this actually is fairly good. The 3+ isn't part of that, but just these in through here. Like if I move them up, I then am dealing with multiple different groups that are, like I want to have minimal numbers for what we end up needing to do, but I also need to then sort of set up a zone to stop units from actually breaking through. So we're going to have to use our Black Orcs a lot for blocking. So we'll block here, I think. Actually, I'll just move this one up to here, just so he's actually starting off right there. We have, if you start off right next to another unit, you can hit it straight away. Now they're going to have a turn first before we get to have a turn, so I'm not sure. They may try to move away from this. We'll see what actually happens. We have an advantage in the middle. In fact, probably too much of an advantage. So I'm going to go and move some of these guys back and just have them ready to I guess, control what may happen if people actually try to sort of break through. I'll just move that one across to here. This 1 for 1, our strength is way above the enemy. So if we can just do damage through here, it's going to be very, very effective. So that mainly leaves the goblins behind, and I'm just going to leave this guy. I don't know which side they're going to come on. Just leave that one there, and I will just move this one up into here, just to put pressure on people running around this outside edge. All right. Down through here, if you've got spare units, they'll be in this line through this other side. On the other side, they don't have any spares as well, back and through there. There's the coaches on either side, so the people in charge of the teams, the apothecaries, etc. Well, sort of, there's a apothecary tent. Do they have one? No, they don't have one. Oh, yes, they do. Yeah, they've got one there, but there's no one in front of it, so I'm not sure if that means that they actually have one. Anyway, that's sort of what's going on through there. So, line of scrimmage, 3 players or more. Okay, that's okay. We need three in through there, and the wide zone's 2 players or less. I think that's okay. Two on each side there is actually okay in the wide zone. I can't put 3 there, so I can't stack that. So I can only have 2 in that whole zone, and then the rest of them have to be sort of back in through here. But I have to have 3 or more along here, which is fine. We've got that one established. All right, let's end our turn here to get started. Actually, more of the things back in through this other side. We've got so that's the tackle zones. This is just to put a grid on, but you can sort of see it there anyway. Some of the actual fields are hard to see, so you may want to put that on depending on what you're playing with. These are the players' skills. These are quite interesting. So these ones here, I can sort of see all my players' skills above the actual players themselves. We might play with that on with the enemy players' skills on, just so we can see there's the 2 catches. And there's different ways of doing this one. There's their sort of strong guys at the back. So they're sort of getting ready to set things up. So I'll leave that on just so we can identify them. We can also then go and change. This is the what's this one here? This is to change its skills. Actually, what does that one do? No, I'll leave that one on. This is to actually get the distinctive colours. So we can sort of change the colours of the teams. We can see ours pretty clearly without that. Player characteristics. This is actually interesting as well. So I'm just go and click on that one. That way we can get to see the colour for our team, but we know ours is so simple anyway. We've just got like essentially if I hover over that one through there, big guy in the middle there. We've got the essentially the blockers. It says Chaos Dwarf blockers, but it is just blockers of the Black Orcs, and the green guys are just runners. That's pretty much all we have. If I click it a second time, it'll then be for the. No, it just goes on or off actually. So that's only. Oh yes, it does. It does it. Actually, sorry, I've got this one around the wrong way. The wrong thing, so I think I may have that. That's yeah, player characteristics. That's ours. Should be theirs. Oh yeah, that's theirs. I might leave that on, just so we can sort of see a slight difference there for the catches. That way I can get rid of the stuff at the top. So I can sort of just go and remove that a little bit, just so we can still see what's again. This is where the interface is good. They've done a good job of this. This one here is just all to do with the camera. Leave that one where that is. The camera tilt, and then the coach reactions. I'm not going to worry about that one. That's more for multiplayer. All right, we are ready. So we're now going to do the kick-off. So off we go. Oh, they're kicking off. I thought we were. Oh, I ran the wrong way. It was my fault. There's a click off event. I didn't even read it. Is it going to show me in here? Probably not. Actually, there it is. Click off event. Timeout. Turn marker goes from 0 to 1. Not sure what that does. Anyway, again, if you wanted to find out, use ChatGPT, and that will tell you what's going on. So we get to start. So actually, it's interesting. I thought they would actually want us to kick to them. I just assumed that would be the case. Anyway, let's just keep that one down there. Now we need to. This now changes things a little bit. I still want to be smashing my way through all of these, and I definitely want to be helping out who is going to be sort of on this particular ball. So I'm going to go and run this one to here. Now, this is the movement area. Now, what I can do is I've got a natural movement area. You can see back through here, a movement area of 4. So 1, 2, 3, 4 gets me anywhere across here. If I go further out, I can go 2 further out, but I have to roll. If I go and click here, for example, you see I've got to roll a 2 or more on a 6-sided dice. So there's an 83% chance I'm going to be able to do it if I need to get there. And if I go even further again, I can then go even further, and I need to roll it again to get to that point. So I only want to do that in an absolute emergency. If any of my characters fumble, it turns over to the opposition team. So I really want to do everything as safely as I possibly can initially, which means placing everyone. I'm just going to right-click just to remove those step by step. Again, this is where the interface is good. If I do it individually like this and start to string together a line where it's going to go, if I don't like where that is, I can just right-click to just go back to wherever the previous instruction was, and then I just click on Go. These are different things that we can ultimately do. So I've got, this is just going to be a standard activation, so we can use this essentially as many times as we like each turn. So I'm just going to go and activate that one by clicking the space bar. So he's now in front of the ball. Facing doesn't matter, so you don't have to change the facing. I can still, if I wanted to, still do things with him, but I don't need to. Now this first one is talking we can do movement, and we can then do essentially what's called a blitz action. If we move and attack, that's a blitz. We only get one of them per turn for our team. So this is why starting off next to these other characters is actually really, really good. It gives us a chance to sort of go and do other things. Now, ultimately, I want to pick up the ball, but this is a high-risk thing. So if I just go and right-click now, he's now had his turn. I think I can pick him up now, but if I go and click on another one and start to do things, I can't come back to him. So I've got to make sure he's in the right position. If I go and try to pick up the ball with this one, I need to roll a 3 or more. So 1 or 2 is not going to be good enough. There's only a 67% chance, and that will then go to the other team if I miss. So RNG-wise, that is not a good result. So I'm not going to use him initially. What I want to do is I want to get players around the ball to make it so that it's a bit more secure. These guys can move at 6. They have a bit more movement than the others. So I'm just going to move this one across into this position. Actually, maybe even... yeah, sure, I'll move it to there. And just click on Go. And then this one here, I just want to sort of have it so that so we have it sort of surrounded with where the ball is. So I'm just going to go there. And this means that if the ball fumbles and it fumbles around, one of these might catch it, but it's also going to mean that if he does pick it up, he's a bit more protected than the others. I'm not going to be moving off just initially, I don't think. So let's do some damage here. Now, the different strength aspects we have. We've got strength 4 against strength 3 against this particular this is lineman. And so this is going to be like we're going to have an advantage essentially. We also have another unit that's right next to it. So if I go and click on this one, you'll see I've got two die rolls in through here where we have one assistance. Now the assistance is not doing anything at all. If he wasn't there, it wouldn't make any difference. If I go across to this one, for example, just right click on this one here and do this one. So this is just going to be a standard roll, and again I still have the 89%. So this is actually fairly good. Just right click again. Let's have a look at this one through here. So if we try to smack this one, this is only 44% because he's really stupid. He has to roll past that really stupid ability. It won't matter much though, but he's still only got 2 die rolls, so it's not no better than these other guys. This one here may be better because I've got stronger units actually assisting back and through this other side. If you're playing the base game, the actual game, you'll find that there's like there'll be tables that you can look up for all this sort of stuff. Now, still only 2, and we have the assistants there. But what I might do is I might ignore that one and just come back this side. And we'll start here. So I'm just going to go and roll the dice. You can see different things on the dice, and I might just, while it's rolling around, if it's got a skull on it, like that, red skull, it means that you fail and you fall over. We do have 2 re-rolls. At this stage, I wouldn't use it, but you can reuse it if you wanted to. We also, if we get badly damaged, the apothecary. They've got 3 re-rolls, so they can re-roll 3 times if they screw up. When you see a red skull and a sort of like a power symbol, that means that both of you and the enemy fall over, and it still changes over to the other side. Where it's just got a single power, it just means it's a big hit, and there's a chance that you can then sort of do some extra damage, and you also can then follow up. So you'll be knocking him backwards and then following up if you want to. The exclamation mark means that it's not as powerful. You can still, there's a chance that things will happen, but nowhere near as strong as what it was. On the side, if I press Q, no, you're not going to see it. Actually, yeah, you're not going to see it there. There's one where you just literally just push them back, and I forget what's on the other side. Anyway, as we roll these things, I'll sort of explain it. So in this case, we're just going to be going in with a standard. This is just a standard attack. We're not blitzing. Blitzing means running and attacking. So I'm just going to go and click on go. So we have to now choose 3 different things. We've got the 2 die rolls that we had, and so this is a push. Default results, the target of the block action is pushed back 1 square by the active player. Or this one here is a defender stumbled, so default result, the target of the block action is pushed back before being knocked down. And we can also just use our re-rolls. But this is the one that we want. This is more powerful because we want him stumbling so we can do more damage. And we can choose where he's going to go. We can actually make use of a grab to actually push him around here, or we can push him back this way. I'm just going to push him back that way. And I will follow up. And he now has to roll. He rolled. I'll just explain what's happening down in here. This will then show what's actually going on. So this one was activated. Plays the block action. Performs a block on Daedal Carnage. So that was the 2 results. He uses the grab skill. He just does that by default. And the block result is a defender is knocked down. He then has to roll. Armor value is 8, and he rolled a 10. So a 10 plus. So that's success. But the injury, so this is that he actually failed essentially if he rolls that one through there. So he failed that, but it was only a stunned. He then rolled on another table to see what the result was. He only rolled a 6, which is stunned. There is a chance that he will be completely knocked out and sent off the field or really badly injured. And we want the injuries for on these guys because we want to stop them from being able to move around too much. So the more we can knock them off and out, the better. Now, this guy here can no longer sort of really get anywhere. So what I need to do with him is to do what's called a blitz action because I've got nowhere else to actually go and hit. So I'm going to have to run in. I'm going to run into this position here and then do another attack in through this other side. Now, when I do it, see how this little bolt of lightning through here? I've only got 1 of these per turn that I can make use of. After this, we don't get to do it. This is another 89% total. Let's just go and do it. So we'll give it a bit of a crack. So go. In this case, we either get knocked over ourselves, attacker down, which we don't want, or just push back. I'm going to push him back against the edge, and I'm going to follow up. If I can push him out, if he doesn't get away next turn, if I can push him out, I can then actually, he'll then be, the crowd will then swarm all over him and actually do damage to him, and he'll end up sort of like in the list of units that are badly damaged, badly injured. So he is now done. I can actually still move off and do other things, but with the blitz action, I can't attack again, but I can move off. So I'm just going to right click. Now, number 2 was our guy that was, this one here is the one that's a little bit better, I think it is. He's got like other abilities with what he can then go and do. I forget what it was. Actually, it was more strength. Yeah, so I don't know if I can, yeah, so this is the, this is one that we have in through here. We have Strength 4, but we do actually have this special mighty blow. So when an opponent is knocked down following a block by this player, you can change the armor value or injury test by the amount between the brackets. So it's just a +1. So I'm going to hit this one and see if we can do some damage. So again, we just click on it. So it's 89% total in through here. Sometimes you'll see this number will actually vary.
I should probably say something.
And again, we missed.
Vision
I'm going to push him back in this way and just go and then we'll just follow it up. Again, the more I can stay with them, the better. We also have this one, which I'll come back to in just a minute. In this case, I'm going to hit this one. Again, 89%. Go. And just a push, unfortunately. And we will follow up again, just to keep the pressure on these guys. This is the one where we have to make the really stupid roll. So let's just see what happens there. We roll past it, and now we have this one here. Now this one is we can go to defender stumble, so he's going to stumble backwards. And he goes back to there, and we are going to follow up. Injured. There we go. Smash knee. So he's now got a permanent injury, and he lost his armor value. And so he is gone. He is now over here with an injury. So so this particular character is injured. I don't know if we can see what the... Yeah, there we go. The lasting injury, smash knee. Have a lot more trouble walking now. Lasting penalty of -1 movement allowance. So that's a permanent injury. It's a brutal game. That's why I'm playing as the Black Orcs. Actually, I might just put it on that slight angle, just so we can sort of see things, because these big units do sort of cover the pitch a little bit. All right, so we'll do one more smash in through here, and go. There we go. So we got an actual POW result. So this is is pushed back before being knocked down. So he will be knocked down, and I will throw him off to the side here. And we will follow up, and we're wanting to injure them as much as possible. And a KO. He's also now off the pitch. This makes it much harder for them, because now they have 2 players which are off. This one will come back, so the KO'd guy will come back at halftime, and so that's sort of where we are with them. So that's now good. I think it's now time. We can either use this one to start to zip around. I can't do any more run, and if I go and try to run and then attack, I can't do it because I've already used up my blitz. So I can't do that this turn. It's time now to try this and use this one to grab the ball. And I'm actually pretty happy. Like, I want to do damage, which is why I'm sort of doing all this. I think if I can pick it up, I'll just give it a go. And we failed. Now I can either accept the result, or I can actually use a team reroll. I'm going to wait. I've only got 2 of them for the whole match, so I'm going to accept this result. He then tries to pick it up, and again we fail. Actually, no, that's success, I think. No, he failed as well. Sorry, we need a 4. That was a turnover. This is now in a bit of a dangerous position, because it's now just if they can scoot past us. Here they come.
That last burst of speed. Oh, it's risky.
So these are their strong guys. You're getting in position. Now, they've used a team reroll, and they've used another team reroll. They've picked up the ball. They're both down and both injured. Dislocated shoulder there. I can use the apothecary. So the apothecary allows a KO to be cancelled immediately. The player remains on the pitch as he was, otherwise he is placed in the reserve box. I don't want him in the reserve box. I'm going to use the apothecary now. Okay, so he's still seriously in. Oh, hang on, no, that didn't work. Oh boy, this isn't good. So it's a lasting shoulder injury, dislocated shoulder, or serious injury. +1 applied to all future casualty rolls. This player will miss the next game. Yeah, I'll take him off in that case. So there was a turnover because he got knocked over, but unfortunately we lost one of the units we didn't want to be losing. This guy has now got the ball, and this is where these guys are more damaging. If I go and try to attack this one, it's too risky. I've got a 67% chance, but it's still not good enough. I really need to make sure that I've got others that can actually get in here. So I'm going to send this one back. So I don't want to go through there. I'm going to move this one back in around. So if I skip in here, I've got to then do a dodge past him. So again, this is where it's quite nice, where I can sort of just give it explicit sort of commands as to where it can go. So that will actually take it all the way into there. I'll just click on go. Now with all these different assists, I just want to see if these ever give me the 2. That gives me 2. I'm back up to 89 here, which means I don't have to use this one all that effectively. I could even, if I can push him back, I can push him back this way. Let's just give it a go. Yep, that's okay. And we'll push him back up this side and we'll follow up. And now we have this one, which can now come back in and do another. Actually, that one there. What about this one here? That one's also 2, but I'm going to need him for picking up the ball. All right, in we go again. So still only same dice rolls. Let's go and click on go. Yeah, there we go.
If you kill the fool carrying the ball,
and we'll push him. We can grab him and move him around this way. So I'm just going to go and pull him this side, and we're going to stay where we are. And he is out, and the ball is now over here. Okay, so he's down, but he'll be up next turn. So we do need to make sure we get the ball this next time. Let's hit this one. See if we can actually do it. Again, if we fail the really stupid test, it won't matter.
That's quite a
Yep, we got there. So we'll smack this one.
I'm excited, Jim.
And we're just going to stay put.
Now his body can move freely.
There's a chance. No lasting injuries there. That means I can now move back with this one just to start to protect the ball. So I'm just going to go back into here, I think. There we go.
Here's some friends.
Move this one back as well. I've still got a blitz if I want it. I need to get more injuries done.
The wall is currently secure, but now they must grab it.
Can't do anything with those. This one here. Come on, do some
There's
damage.
only one word to say about this ball.
Not a word, Jim. A sound. Crunch.
And there we go. That's now, he actually rolled less ultimately, so he's only stunned rather than actually any big damage coming back through. This guy here, these guys are the dangerous ones. If I go on, I can still use the blitz on these. I've still got a good result here. I'm going to try to take one of these out. Not good enough.
Using an ancient blood bowl technique.
Throw him back there, but we're not going to follow up. So he stayed on his feet. These are their elite forces. Everyone else down through this other side. We've still got these two. Now, it's going to open up this one here to do whatever it wants. I'm going to move that one up to that corner. This one will come back to its feet next turn. Let's just go and run there. Okay, you're on again. You've got to pick this up this time. So we need a 3+ to pick up the ball. 5. He's got it. Now, I don't want to be running off anywhere because I can still run out to these distances, but I've now got my protection around me, so I'm just going to stay where I am there. So that's all we need to do there. So he's now got the ball, but you can sort of see with the interface everyone else has really moved, so that's actually good. So we'll now just go and end our turn. So we now have to start to protect him as he goes down the pitch. So he's now jumped to his feet, and he's fallen over straight away. And there's a turnover. So he actually got to his feet and then fumbled. This then means that we now have a bit of an opportunity to start to charge on down the pitch. I'm going to try to run this one through and do a hit here. So if this works, then I can push this one back out of the way and just make it easier for everyone else to go there. So roll a 3.
That's quite a mismatch, Bob.
I know.
Again, we want this one, and we will follow it up
He's going to sleep.
and KO. So he's off the pitch, which is ideal. So we now actually have 3 of theirs off the pitch. 2 will come back at half time, and we're still sort of going strong here. So we now need to get this guy can move a long way down. He can actually use him as one of the other blocking areas, which is actually a good one. So we've used our blitz there. Oops, I don't want to do that. This is a pass, so I don't want to be doing that with those guys. I can move this one into here, which actually then puts me in a good position to protect him. So we'll click on go there. Trouble is going to be this one over this other side, but I can still block that one off. So I'm now going to use this guy to run up into this position. And we then need to still keep protection around him if we can. So we've still got a few, like all of these guys can still all run. So I can run up, and again I don't want to risk anything too much, but I can get around him here. So let's just click on that one there. Help to protect this guy as he sort of runs forward. You see, I'm not risking the RNG much at all. I'm very, very cautious with this. In fact, he can. That's a good position for him to be in, actually, more than the other. I'll place it here. The more people we have around him, the better off he will ultimately end up being. I want to risk this now. This one here, I can't do a blitz anymore, so I can't actually hit him, but I can actually at least put units around him that can stop him from acting too much. And we've got guys all over the pitch now, so and then these guys can just sort of come back through. Just put sort of, I guess, the area pressure on different areas of the pitch. So let's just move. Let's move him up to there. Just still got to get to his feet and then try to run off. These are quite weak, but they're very, very agile. This one here, I don't want to be risking this at all, so I'm just going to go and bring this one across. Just again to just get in the way of the others, so maybe even just get into that one there. Stop this guy from really being able to act much at all. It's these guys here that are now the dangers. They can move a long way, movement 7, so they can actually really, zip around and try to get past our units. That's about all we need to do this turn, so we'll just, I don't think we have anything further back. No, that's all good. We'll end our turn here. We just have to get down to the touchline. Now he's actually fallen over straight away. Again, because we had pressure on him, and now we've got a clear run. He didn't move those units. So I'm now going to run into the back corner. Now I can get there in 2 rolls, or I can just wait. I've still got multiple turns yet before I need to really worry about it. So I'm just going to run into the corner here. Now they can move 7. They can actually move 9. If I just have a bit of a look at these guys. So they can move out to here and then go further. So they can actually reach him if I don't protect the others around him. If I move into here, it stops them a lot. So we'll go and do that. It just puts pressure on. Now I can still attack. No, I can't. That's actually that should be. I should have been able to. That's a blitz. I'm not sure why I couldn't do that. We'll move this one down. Oops. just to, again, for extra protection. We've got this guy as well, who can just come a little bit further out. I can get to there with these other ones. Actually, I think that's all as far as I can go. Yeah, I can get to there, which I don't want to go right on the edge, because if they push me out, that's a bit of a disaster. I might run to there. I've still got the protection with this one here a little bit. This one here I will move up as well, just in case they do happen to get the ball. So we'll just put pressure around this area, including this one as well. So just give them things they have to run past, which makes it more difficult for them. This one here I can move right up against it. Just get them all to help. And you can... This one's knocked out. He's not going to be up this next turn. I will... These ones will be up next turn. So he's now blocking both of those off, which means I can sort of just run up with this one a little bit. Okay, that'll do us. Let's see how they go this time.
Anybody got any playing cards? Hey,
I'm trying to put pressure on this unit. We're going to knock him over, but... He's over. So they didn't manage to stand up because this troll was right on top of them. And now we either just do a bit more damage if we can, which I possibly do that one there. I'll give that one a go. No, he's too dumb. I'm just going to keep that result.
This player should be brain transferred.
Now this one here, if I go and start to attack any of these, this could look quite interesting. If let's just say we're going to attack this guy here, we have all of these other ones attached to us. When I click on it, you'll see there that he's got 3 assist, which then changes what happens with the dice. Now if I roll those dice, they get to choose which one is selected, which is something that I don't want to have happen because of all these assists. If I end up with other units standing next to them, it takes the assistance off. So I would need 3 more units just to get a one-on-one. But slowly over, like with he's got assisted +3, and so it actually makes it a lot more difficult. So we don't want to do that. I'm just going to stand my ground. In fact, we'll ultimately just end up moving off. I could. I've already done. Have I done the? I've tried a blitz. Yeah, no, I can't do it because this guy tried the blitz and then didn't do it. I shouldn't have done the blitz with him. Anyway. Really all we can do now is just hit the end zone. This one is no longer stunned. Just come back in and do a touchdown. So doesn't matter where we go, there's no goals or anything to kick. That's it. Okay, so touchdown there, 1 to us. That's good, a good start. And so we're only part way through the first area. I'm not going to keep on playing. I think we'll sort of leave it there. There's the one cheerleader that we have. Again, the graphics and the animation of these are really, they seem really old. It's funny because they were so good when they first did the Blood Bowl, like, you know, the first one. It was so cutting edge. We've got a light injury. They've still got 2 out, so one of them came good. So they've actually got now. They don't have quite enough players now. There's still 2 more rounds to go. They're not really going to be able to. So position your defensive players before they kick off. Yeah, it won't really matter that much. They're not going to be able to score with that one through there. Anyway, guys, I'm going to leave it there. That gives you an idea of how to play the game. And we've still got. This is only the first half. Then there's another. You know, from turns 9 to 16 in the next half. But I'll leave it there, and I'll catch you guys later. Thanks for watching. Again, I should just follow up, but maybe a bit of a summary. This part of the game is really, really good, like really good. all of the the tool, everything to help you with things. It's all there. So the user interface and the user experience is very, very solid when you actually play the game. But it is that extra stuff that is just woefully poor, and so it's definitely a redeemable game. It's a game that would be it just needs all of that I guess that peripheral stuff really looked at in a very almost a restart again from that perspective. If the new version that they're building hasn't addressed those, it's going to be an absolute failure, I would think. So yeah, it's just interesting to sort of see how those sorts of things go. Anyway, I'm going to leave it there, guys. Thanks for watching. I will catch you next time. Please like and subscribe if you like this sort of content, and I'll see you on the flip side, I guess. Oh, look, I'm just going to finish this off. It's I've just been playing on a little bit just so I can, because I can't save the game. Bugger it. That's annoying, actually. If you need to go and do anything, you're stuck playing. Otherwise, you forfeit. We're 2-0 up now. We actually scored again. We actually stripped it off them. They are in a lot of trouble. We've got 2 kills now, a bad injury through there with a broken leg, and then 2 knockouts as well. So their team is really, really low at this, just with a couple of turns to go, essentially. I'm just going to end my turn here. Thought I'd just finish this off, just so at least we get a bit of closure rather than saving it. And then this one, we will then win the competition. Now, he left the ball there. It's gone back for that one. It's picked it up successfully. Has attacked this guy. He may still be able to jump out of the way. No, he can't. No damage there. He dodged out. They dodge well. These are the elves, of course. They use a reroll there because they didn't manage to dodge out of the way of this one. We did get there in the end with a team reroll. And that should be the end of it, really. So it's our turn. Look, there's really nothing more for us to do. One thing we can do is try to give them a little bit of experience, I guess. So we can sort of, if I use this one here, I'll just try to hit this one with a charge. Now we're going to use this one up, even if we fail. We have team reroll, so we'll reroll this one. And again, there we go. So, and we still didn't make it actually ultimately. So, unfortunately, that's it for him, and that's pretty much it for the game. So I'll just end the turn here, and there's no one else I can actually use to. Actually, one thing I can do is just stomp on these. Let's just go and do this. And not enough to do damage. If the ref sees us, we've got one unit that we leveled up before. This one here, which is a sneaky git. He can run in and do this sort of work, but can I do it there? No. I'll just do it with this one here. Give it one more time. Oh, hang on, I can't do that one. Yeah, so no, I'm pretty stuck here now. So I'll just end the turn. And that's it. Got a few Steam level ups there. But this part of the game is actually good if you could just save it. It's built for multiplayer, and only for multiplayer, really. Okay, match finished, return to the main menu. But it still should be savable, you know? Like it drives me nuts. Just go and click on OK. And so we won this one through here. We gain the details. So yeah, we grab these different bits and pieces in through here. Picked up a little bit more money. See the competition back in through this other side. Now, the status is now it's ended. That's it. We've won the whole competition, and this bit of it is just so bad. It is so bad. So that's it. 3 wins there. We win the competition, but we get nothing for it, really. Our team, of course, finishes on top. Again, doesn't give you any results. It really is shockingly bad, this part of it. Like, it's just unbelievably bad. We go to the schedule. It doesn't tell you. I guess maybe it does tell you this a bit. Yeah, okay. You can sort of do it this way, I guess. 3 different rounds. Who won what? I guess it's there, but yeah, it's just so poorly put together. So poorly done. It's unbelievable. Anyway, going to leave it there, guys. Thanks for watching. I will catch you next time.